Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves a Scrap, and I'm coming to you from down under. Today it is Monday and it is Mix It Up Monday, and it's a social media hop that I'm joining in for the first time where projects are shared that are mixing it up. This one is the sketch that we used, and here's my layout, and I've used some watercolors, some splatters and some smooshing. Shannon Keith inspired the sketch, and we're putting it all together with our mixed media flavour to build this hop. So I've collected together a whole range of things to go with my photos, which I'll talk about in a moment, and I'm putting it together, and I do apologise, this one will be slightly longer than I normally do, but that's because there's a lot going on in this layout. I'm really excited to be part of this hop, and I have, like I said, incorporated a few mixed medias into it. So I've got my cardstock and my pattern paper, which I'll use as my framing, and I'm going to use this darker blue as my base, and the sketch calls for some washi, so I've got my washi there that I'm going to incorporate. I'm just prepping my base here and my interior framing, because I like to have a 1-inch frame around all my photos that I use as a thin guide. So these photos were taken on a misty morning on our way to work, and what I'm doing here is I'm extending the photo. So I'm just extending it, putting in my horizon line so that I've got somewhere to work. I'm marking off where the photos are going to sit roughly, so I know my space that I'm going to work in. Now, as it's mixed it up media, I'm using watercolors. This is my base here, and I'm actually going to create, like I said, an extension of the photo scene. Now, this was on the way to work. It is winter here in Australia, and there are plenty of photo opportunities on my way to work where the scenery is just amazing. This one is just down the road at Luddenham, and as I was driving to work, it was about 2 degrees, I think, this day, and the fog and the mists were in, and the moon was still out, and this was just amazing. And I just loved how the trees were reflected upon the pond, and you wouldn't believe that there were actually ducks swimming in that freezing cold water. I also am preparing for a trip overseas, and so I'm experimenting with camera settings and so forth, and looking at different ways of just taking the normal selfie. So I'm practicing using my camera and exposure and so forth as well. So the photo of me in this one was a selfie that I've used where I have been practicing using the portrait part with the timer and setting up the poses. So it's a great opportunity, plus the scenery here is amazing, and I just love watching the ducks in the water on the morning before I head off to work. I often leave about 10 minutes early so I can go and detour and take a few photos along the way. So I have just put in, as you can see, the water with some trees in the distance. I've put in the cross hatching of the grass that is at the bottom. I'm just topping it off with some blue. These are my Pearls watercolors, and it's really hard on this one to see, but they are done with some purples and some blues. And I'm just putting in this moon part up the top here, which actually gets covered up by the photos, but that's okay because you can see still the image around the outside. And yeah, I would have liked to see the moon maybe more in the corner of the photo, but that wasn't meant to be based on the size of my photos. But I'm following the sketch pretty closely, and I want it to be pretty much as Tara has done it. Now, she has what looks to be some mixed media smooching across the top of her at the top right. So I am smooching in some picket fence distress ink here, just adding some water to make it spread, and I'm just patting it into the corners, spreading it just a little bit more. I then get my antique linen just for another contrast into it, and I add a bit of that into the colouring on the smooching, and I think it's really effective because it continues and gives that foggy effect to the layout. To finish it off, I'm going to add in some pink paint splatters in the pearls, and that's matching the colours of the photo, so it brings it all together. And so that's how this layout is being built as my base with my mixed media. And as I said, I like to watercolour and I like to build, and it's a shame that all the colours were not clear for you in the video or the photos, but they really are quite shimmery, and they match the photos. Now, I'm not very good at this, but I need to practice and I need to start getting better at it because I think I like the effect of it, is the layering of the matting. I'm always a neat matter, and I actually love the effect when I see people who do layered mat where they're all different sizes and all different shapes, and looks like it's got some layering in behind. So I am using different papers with the colours of the photos here to give it a bit of a lift off that background, because the watercolours do add some busyness to the layout, and this will help lift the photos and centre and focus them. So I'm just adding in some leftover paper here from Scrapbook Fantasies. It was the Cats and Dogs reverse side part, side B. This one here is a mottled Doppler effect, which I have got a 6x6 pad that's come from. So I'm just putting that in behind the main photo here. And as I said, I'm not very good. I still go back to being neat and making it square and making it a actual neat frame around my photo. I'm really needing to work on that skill. So this one is from my framing, and I'm putting it in behind. It has the colours of the photos all through it, so I thought it was nice. Plus it's got the circles like the moon in the background, half circles like the trees on the horizon, and I'm just framing that up. To finish it off, I'm just making sure that all of the gaps are filled, and that's another OCD part of me, and I need to work on that because I know that it doesn't have to be, but I still managed to get it nice and neat and framed. And then I tempt myself here, and I realise that no, I actually need to stagger it and give it a little bit of a different effect if I really want it to look like it's layered. So I'm just adding in the final bits here to the corner. Please don't copy me because I am learning to do this. There are lots of talented people who do it all the time really well, and just go and check out lots of videos. You'll find them. I'm practicing. That's something I want to get better at. These ones here, I'm outlining my photo just because I want it to pop from the background. As I said, I need to make the photos the centerpiece. They are actually the heroes of the page. And so I've done that, and I'm going to put foam tape on this photo to make it stand up off the page to give it some dimension and some shadowing. And as I said, that photo covers up my moon that I painted up the back, but that's okay because you can still see it into the corner. Using die cuts that I have around the place, I've got this fence that is like a farm fence, which is to carry on that image and build the cluster here. I have this tree. It is delicate and it is fine, and it's got lots of detail to it, so I need to make sure that I glue it down. And yes, it will go over the photo so that it marries and carries it across. So it's like the scene is continuous across the page. And then I have these ducks, which I have cut out. And like I said, I am surprised they are on that frosty water, but they were. And I've just built that scene to carry it on like Tara's original sketch has. So I've called this Frosty Selfie, and I've die cut the title on my Cricut Joy. I really need to use that more. I underutilise that tool, but I like when I can pull a welded title together. So Frosty Selfie I thought was a great title for this page, given that it was freezing cold, and I'm standing out in the middle of that freezing cold morning taking photos and experimenting with my camera. So I'm adding in the washi tape, which is a requirement of the sketch, and I think that by putting the film strip, that ties beautifully with the selfie aspect of it. And I don't know why I don't use washi more, but I should. And I've got so much of it, and it really does add something extra to the layout. So if you've got washi, use it. If you don't, it goes off, and then you're throwing it away anyway. So just use it. Get it on the layouts. I have to finish it. I can't help myself. I need to finish off my layout by building my frame, making it stand out. So I'm just adding in some white gel pen faux stitching around the edge. Once I've done that, I'm adding in my journaling as per the sketch, but also it's important to journal where it is. And I'm just saying that driving to work on a cold winter morning always gives me opportunities for photos, and I was experimenting this day. I'm adding in some Nuvo drops to create a triangle around the actual top corner, and that also helps your eye go back to the photos in the opposite direction. So as you can see, there's my washi with that painting. You can see my journaling and that artwork that has extended across, building that top right corner as per the sketch. I've put the washi in on the photos, and you can just see, look how magic that was that morning. It was just unbelievable. So thank you for watching. Lots of people are playing along with this. This is created by Shannon Keith, Creating Chaos in Tennessee, and she has made an amazing sketch that we're all working with. And here you can see the final part of my top right hand corner, the detail of the smooching and the splatters. Check out all the players down below. Don't forget to have a go and, you know, play with your watercolors, have some fun, build your layouts, extend your photos. If you see anything you like, please give me a thumbs up. I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. I'm coming to you from the land down under. I'm always open to likes. YouTube like to reflect on those and make my content more visible. Don't forget, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, do so. Leave me a comment. I will always get back to you. You can find me on all my socials as Kathy Loves to Scrap, even Instagram, where all my layouts end up, even those without a video. Thanks for watching. Check out the playlist. Happy scrapping. Till next time.